Can you imagine a civilization where we are cluttered by trash that takes many decades to decompose? This is why we should recycle. After extensive research, it is proven that recycling saves our environment and the energy we use. How does waste affect our environment, and what is recycling? Here I've included a short video to show how waste is affecting our environment.
All this junk litters our planet, and lots of it ends up in the sea. In the middle of the Pacific Ocean, there are 2 islands of rubbish that together are over 5 times the size of the whole of England. No one has worked out how to clean them up, so they're just getting bigger. Rubbish that isn't recycled goes into enormous pits called landfill. These pits are filled to the top with rubbish and then covered over. But as the rubbish rots, it produces lots of a gas called methane. Methane is what is known as a greenhouse gas. Too much greenhouse gas changes the world's climate and makes it hotter. Also, nasty poisonous liquid leaks out, and this has to be treated like sewage to make it safe. Yuck! In Devon alone, the amount of rubbish going to landfill weighs around the same as 7,682 jumbo jets.
Now that we have concluded the video on the landfill and how it affects our environment, what is recycling? According to the Environmental Protection Agency, recycling is the separation and collection of materials that otherwise would be considered waste, the processing and manufacturing of these items into new products, and the use of the recycling products to complete the cycle. So the question is, what can be recycled? Metals, such as pop cans or aluminum foil, can be recycled. Also glass, brown glass, amber glass can be recycled. Also paper or cardboard, office paper can be recycled. Cardboard boxes. Also, plastics can be recycled, such as water bottles. And batteries, such as car batteries, can be recycled, and bulbs, such as household bulbs. And the used electronics can also be recycled. What is the recycling process? The first step in recycling process includes the collection of materials according to allrecyclingfacts.com. There are 4 main methods of collection, namely curbside, drop-off centers, buyback centers, and deposit refund programs. The next step in the recycling process includes the processing of materials. This is where recycled material is chopped or grinded down, then used to make new materials. Once the new materials are formed, they can be marketed for sale to complete the recycle three-step process. It is highly beneficial to our environment and society to recycle. Recycling reduces the size of our landfills. According to SaveEnergy.com, recent statistics say that recycling keeps about 87 million tons of solid waste from hitting U.S. landfills each year. That's about 1/3 of the total trash we create annually. Recycling also allows for more employment opportunities to carry out its three-step process. This saves money by cutting energy costs. Another benefit of recycling is that it cuts down on greenhouse gas, which protects our environment from all the greenhouse effects. Here I've concluded with a video to recap on everything I've covered in this persuasive speech.
How much waste does an American produce every year? 1,500 pounds per person, 243 million tons if you put all that together. That's equal to the weight of 2.3 million Boeing 747 jets. A lot of it is recyclable. Things like paper, plastic bottles, aluminum cans, cardboard, tin cans, magazines, and newspapers. But most of it ends up in landfills. About 54% of all waste ends up in a landfill, according to the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. Another 12% goes into incineration plants and is turned into energy. And the remaining 34% goes through the recycling process. Paper and cardboard accounts for 28% of all waste. To make paper, trees need to be cut down. Lots of trees. Actually, about 4 billion trees per year around the world, and most of the paper is used in the U.S. Paper takes about 2 months to decompose in a landfill, and cardboard can take up to 5 years. When recycled, each ton of paper can save 17 trees, 380 gallons of oil, 3 cubic yards of landfill space, 4,000 kilowatts of energy, and 7,000 gallons of water. Of the more than 22 billion plastic bottles used each year, only 28% are recycled. That means that about 16 billion plastic bottles end up in landfills and oceans. Plastic is made mostly from oil and natural gas, and it's such a durable material that it will never biodegrade. It can remain buried in landfills or floating in the oceans for thousands of years. Plastic that ends up in the oceans kills over 1 million animals every year. Recycling 1 ton of plastic saves 7.4 cubic yards of landfill space and keeps it off the water systems. Aluminum cans can be recycled over and over without losing quality or wasting raw material. An aluminum can that is recycled can be back on the grocery shelf as a new can in as little as 60 days. Recycling 1 ton of aluminum cans saves enough energy to run your television for 300 days. So how do we benefit from recycling? Well, for one, it creates jobs. Recycling creates 6 to 10 times more jobs than incineration and landfills do. It also helps the environment by reducing the amount of resources we take from it. For your business or organization, it benefits the bottom line by reducing waste pickup costs and helping you meet statewide recycling goals. At Southeastern Recycling, we are committed to making recycling as easy as possible. With single-stream recycling technology, we can recover all your recyclables from one bin, so you don't need to throw away your recyclables in separate bins. So how do we recycle? Because so much paper is used in schools and businesses, there should always be a recycling bin in classrooms and office spaces. Usually one bin per classroom and one per desk at offices. Any type of paper can be placed in these bins: magazines, newspapers, even cardboard. You can also place aluminum cans, tin cans, plastic bottles, and plastic containers in these bins. Larger bins should be available in public areas like hallways, kitchens, and auditoriums. It's important that you use them. At the end of the day, all the contents in the bins will be taken and unloaded into the supplied front-load container or compactor. We then take the recyclables to our sorting facility, where each material is separated and stacked. Finally, we ship all the material to recycling factories, where they will be recovered into brand new products. It's as simple as that. Whether you are at home, school, or your workplace, you can contribute to a healthier environment. It's easy. Reduce, reuse, and recycle.
Now that we have concluded with the video, I encourage you to participate in the recycling process to help keep our environment clean.